Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Easy Explanation. In this video tutorial, we will be learning about the concept of dynamic memory allocation for objects in C++. So, what is the concept of dynamic memory allocation? So, there are two ways by which you can allocate memory for object in C++. One is static memory allocation and another is dynamic memory allocation. So, static memory allocation and another is the concept called as a dynamic memory allocation. So let us first understand the concept of static memory allocation, then we'll discuss about the dynamic. So static memory allocation, in the concept of static memory allocation, the memory is allocated for the object during compile time. So here memory is allocated for object during compile time. So in order to perform a static memory allocation, you need to have an idea of how many objects you need exactly. So you need to know exact number of objects you require. So in that scenario, you can go for the static memory allocation. So suppose I have a class something like a test, and if I am creating object called as a t, which is of a class type test, in such scenario we are performing the static memory allocation for the object t here. Now there is another concept called as a dynamic memory allocation. In this case, the memory is allocated for the object during the runtime. Here memory is allocated for the object during runtime, or memory is allocated for the object while the program is running. So this is called as the concept of dynamic memory allocation. So if you do not have the idea of exactly how many objects you require in advance, so something like if you do not have idea of how many objects you need in advance, then you can go for the concept called as a dynamic memory allocation. It helps you to dynamically allocate memory for that particular object. So that is the reason why it is called as a dynamic memory allocation. Memory is allocated for the object during the runtime or during the running phase of that particular program. So in order to perform dynamic memory allocation, we have to use keywords such as new. So new is used to perform the dynamic memory allocation. Then we have the keyword called as a delete. Then delete is used to dynamically deallocate the memory for the object. So new keyword is used to allocate the memory, while delete keyword is used to deallocate the memory for that particular object. So this is the concept related to a dynamic memory allocation in C++. So let us understand this concept by writing a sample code. So let us create a file called as a memory underscore alloc.cpp. So C++ program to understand the concept of dynamic memory allocation for the object. For that, let us import the required libraries #include iOS stream using namespace std int main return 0. Let's define a class called as a class. Let's say the class name is test only, test, and it has some private data point int data, and let us define a public constructor public test int I, and we'll write something like data of I. So So we'll be using some default constructor over here. Test something like data is equals to 10. After that, let's define a function called as int get data, and it should simply return data. Once this is done, you can see we have defined a class called as a test. It has one private data member data and public constructor and one public method called as a get data. After this is done, let us create an object dynamically. So what we'll do is test asterisk t is equals to new test. So here we have used new keyword to dynamically allocate the memory for the object. Means here t act as a pointer for that particular object here. So since new will return the address of the object, address of the memory allocated, so it will be stored in the pointer called as a t. Now if you want to access any of the methods or the data point related to that particular object, then what we can do is we can use the arrow operator to access that. So you can use t of get data, and if you want to print any values, then cout. You can recall the concept of like how we'll access the data member of a structure in C programming language if you are using the structure to point. The similar concept applies here. T of get data, and if you run this code, you'll get something like this. So g plus plus and dot slash a dot out. So see, the new keyword will return memory address of the memory allocated. So new returns address of allocated memory, and the address get stored in the variable t. Means t is a pointer to the address that is currently allocated. Now if you want to access anything that is stored at that particular memory address, then you have to use this pointer, means this arrow operator in order to access the data point, the data variables, or any method related to that. So in this way we can use the arrow operator to access the values. So in this way dynamically you can dynamically allocate the memory for any given object. So let us understand how to create an array of object, or how to dynamically create an array of multiple objects in C++. For that I'll be writing another code. So something like test.cpp, and C++ program to dynamically create array of objects. For that I'll be using the same class over here. So I'll copy this code and paste it over here. Now let us define a main function, and now let us create one more thing that I forgot to mention over here. Like if you want to deallocate the memory, then you can use this delete keyword. You can simply write delete t, and it will delete the memory allocated for that particular object, or it will deallocate the allocated memory. Now let us create array of objects, dynamically create array of object. For that let us say test asterisk. For that we have to write something like this. So for that, in order to create array of objects, and what you can do is t asterisk new test. Let us say I want to create 4 objects over here. Sorry, I have like, since it will return the addresses, so make this as a pointer variable, pointer of an object. So asterisk t. Now we are creating 4 objects over here. So dynamically creating 4 objects over here. Now in order to access that, what we'll do is int I will define, and let us write a looping condition, looping statement over here. I is equals to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, and we can write some cout statement like cout value is equals to, we can do something like this, t of I dot get data and endl, and you can write return 0. In this case we are creating array, dynamically creating array of objects here, dynamically creating array of objects over here. So now let us compile this code and see the result. So g++ test.cpp and ./a.out, and you can see the value equals to 10, value equals to 10, value equals to 10 full, means we have created total of 4 objects over here. We have created array of 4 objects, and we are accessing each of them one by one by iterating it through the loop over here. In this way you can dynamically create the object or dynamically allocate the memory for the object. In this case we have dynamically allocated array of objects, and in this case we have created a single objects over here. Now if you want to delete the array that has been created, then you can simply write delete and use this thing and write this. So this is how we can dynamically allocate the memory for any object in C++. So thank you so much everyone. If you have any question or queries, please let us know in the comment section, and please like, share and subscribe our channel, and please be updated or subscribe our channel for any new videos and all. Thank you so much.